Let me read to you a passage from the 10th chapter of St. Matthew's Gospel, verses 7 to 15. It's the Gospel for Thursday of the 14th week in Ordinary Time. St. Matthew writes, Jesus said to the 12, "As you go, preach this message. The kingdom of heaven is near. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Do not take along any gold or silver or copper in your belts. Take no bag for the journey, or extra tunic, or sandals or a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. Whatever town or village you enter, search for some worthy person there, and stay at his house until you leave. As you enter the home, give it your greeting. If the home is deserving, let your peace rest on it. If it is not, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, shake the dust off your feet when you leave that home or town. I tell you the truth, it will be more bearable for Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town." That's from Matthew chapter 10, verses 7 to 15. It speaks to us of the mission that Christ gives us. You know, any historian worthy of the name, or any anthropologist or archaeologist, anyone delving into the past or into the structures of human culture and society, understands that religion is virtually an invariable feature of the life of man. Societies have their worship, their rituals, their myths. Many societies, especially primal societies, are so steeped in a religious perspective that their culture and entire way of life, their social, whether social or individual, is pervaded by religion. It is even difficult in such cases to define religion because it seems to be so coterminous with the culture. A great exception is the modern secular society, the special feature of which is that religion is absent from its public face. The secular society carries on officially as if God were but a personal persuasion rather than a public fact. Some modern states, such as communist states, adopting a foreign philosophy such as Marxism, have publicly denied the reality of God and have driven out those who profess religious belief. This they have done because they think belief in God is deleterious of man's true welfare. It is also to be admitted that some Asian cultures, profoundly influenced by Confucianism, Buddhism and other what we might call similar philosophies, have kept a personal deity out of sight. But these are anomalies. Religion is part of the life of man. And what is religion, as popularly understood? Well, of course, it is the worship of the deity or the deities. It is ritual. It is religious myth and narrative. It is prayer. It is all that makes up the acknowledgement of and prayer to the unseen power or powers by man and his community. But there is one feature of revealed religion, the religion of the Judeo-Christian revelation, which is especially notable. It is its impulse to bring itself to the world. God spoke to Abraham, calling him from Ur in the land of the Chaldees and taking him to a promised land. We read in the book of Genesis that within this call there was a promise. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you. All the communities of the earth shall find blessing in you. Genesis chapter 12, verses 2 to 3. The blessing of religion was not just to be for the family, tribe, society, and nation of Abraham. The religion that was revealed to him as being his religion from now on had a mission to the world. This universal mission was an original and essential feature of the religion of the chosen people. But it was a long time in gestation. It was always understood to be there, but it never seems to have taken flight in any serious sense until the appearance of the Messiah. John the Baptist pointed out the Messiah. He was Jesus, and his mission would be to take away the sin of the world. Once taken away by his death and resurrection, the universal mission would be immediately operative. At that, religion, the religion revealed by God in the person of Jesus Christ, his divine Son, became more than worship and, of course, good and religious living. It became missionary. Essential to its life was the mission to bring the knowledge and love of the person of the Redeemer to the nations. Being religious involved bringing Christ to the minds and hearts of mankind. You could not just pray as something solely between yourself and your Creator, or just worship. That was absolutely essential, but there was more involved now. You had to be concerned with bringing Jesus Christ to the world, both by means of your prayer and by means of the situation in life that was yours by vocation and divine providence. So it is that in our Gospel today, from Matthew chapter 10, verse 7 to 15, our Lord entrusts his disciples with their mission. It is a share in his own mission. He himself did not enter the world simply to give an example of a life that profoundly acknowledged God his Father and which was lived in personal union with him. He came into the world to save the whole world from sin. In him, religion was essentially missionary. If one wished then to be of God after the manner of Jesus Christ, and this is the only true way of being religious as far as God himself is concerned, then one had to share in the missionary impulse of the Master. One had to give oneself to the mission of saving mankind from sin and bringing all to God in Christ Jesus. So it is that, as we read in the Gospel, Jesus said to the 12, "As you go, preach this message, the kingdom of heaven is near." And so, risen from the dead, he gave his disciples a charge. It was not simply that they keep up the worship of God and remain deeply prayerful. They had a mission to the world that was central to living the Christian religion. Go and make disciples of all the nations. Chapter 28, Matthew chapter 28, verse 19. If this missionary dimension of life is missing in the Christian, his religion is profoundly incomplete. Of course, just how this missionary element is to be interpreted and lived out in practical terms will vary profoundly among Christ's faithful. The faithful wife and mother will strive night and day to bring the knowledge and love of Jesus Christ to her family and to those about her in her limited sphere of influence in parish and community. This will be a very different sphere from that of, say, the ordained priest. However, in all of Christ's faithful, in all who are baptized and are members of Christ's church, there must be a living sense of mission, which is given very practical expression in daily life. Let us be up and doing then.